Welcome to Eric Unfiltered. I am your host, Eric, a Gen Xer from Connecticut, where I get into local and national news, politics, and culture. No topic is off limits, no feelings are spared. No mainstream sugar-coated BS here. Thank you for tuning in. Now let's get on with the show. Welcome back. I hope everybody's doing well today. Before I get started, I wanted to do this in video today. I really did. Unfortunately, it was a last minute thing. I went to the store. I didn't go to one of the, I didn't go to the good stores. Yeah, I went to Staples. I know, moan and groan. It's okay. They're going the way of Circuit City anyway. But I figured, hey, they got cams, right? I pop in there. Now, the reason why I'm mentioning this is because their comment made to me by one of the employees kind of took me off guard. Hence why I know Staples is definitely going the way of Circuit City, because I could not find where their cams were. I was looking for signs because that's normally what you do. And, well, I'm also half blind. So I asked for help. And the guy, the person's like, oh, yeah, if we have any, they're over here. All right. He walks me over. Very, very nice. And then he says, yeah, this is all we got left. And I was not going to get it because it sucked. And he says, yeah, whenever we get anything, every day we put it out, and within a few hours it gets stolen. I'm like, yo, he just freely just said this to a random customer. This must happen every day then. Legitimately. He just easily, yeah, we had some. He might as well have just said, yeah, bro, sorry, we had a few, but you have a job, and those that don't stole that shit while you were working. Good luck. Go somewhere else where they actually care about their customers and the stuff that they buy. I was floored that he actually said that. I was floored. Dude couldn't have been nicer. Floored. I was shocked. I couldn't help but laugh, dude. I was like, wow, pretty fucking sad. But while I was there, I didn't get one. I'm going to. But I am proud to say, I'm not going to give you the number yet. Not yet. I'm not at my goal. But I am proud to say that while I was there, I did look at new office chairs because the one I have sucks. And it's old. And it sucks hard. So I was very, very happy that when I looked at all the chairs, I am proud to announce that I have lost enough weight to not care about the weight restrictions on these chairs. That's right. My fat ass is less of a fat ass, and I am safely under the 275-pound mark. Score one for the less fat guy. All right. Enough of that. Let's get into this first story because I highly doubt you have heard about this. Unless you're on X. Then you did. Probably. But I have not seen or heard about this on any of my local news stations. Now, granted, this story is not out of Connecticut. It is out of Michigan. And, well, why you have not heard about it is shocking. Let's get into it. So, per usual, I did a quick search, and this is what came up. And again, verified data only, but grain of salt, it's AI. You know what I'm saying? All right. The incident matching your description occurred on February 13th, 2026 in Delta Township, Michigan, near Lansing. Not directly in Detroit, though some reports reference broader Detroit area on the news coverage. Okay, fair enough. Named Alexander Lamar Banks Jr., age 21, some initial reports listed him as 36, but verified sources confirmed 21. Allegedly, I'm sorry, Grok. Allegedly? No, there is no allegedly. Drove his vehicle into a family who was out for an evening walk near Green Meadows and Farmstead Lane around 5:30 p.m. That's right. He drove his vehicle into a family that was out for an evening stroll. He then exited his vehicle and fired multiple shots at the family using a 12-gauge shotgun, reportedly retrieved from a backpack. Not that that matters. A bystander who attempted to assist was also attacked and seriously injured, including being struck with the shotgun as a blunt weapon. You haven't heard about this, have you? If you have, well, then I'm sorry to, bring it up again. But if you haven't heard about this, if you haven't, you might want to ask why. Why haven't you heard about this? I mean, look, violence and craziness like this happens all the time, right? Well, violence, yes, but somebody deliberately mowing down a family with a vehicle and then getting out with a 12 gauge and popping some, that does not happen every day. Why am I not hearing about this on any news outlet other than X? Curious. Verified outcomes from official sources, Eaton County Sheriff's Office and prosecutors' filings. A 3-year-old girl was pronounced dead at the scene from the attack. 3 years old. Other victims included a 33-year-old woman and a 37-year-old man, likely the parents, who were hospitalized and reported in stable condition in some updates. I don't know about you folks, but if I was the father, I would not want to be in stable condition because I would not be in stable condition. A 72-year-old woman, the bystander or other responder, was in critical condition. Banks was arrested shortly after with assistance from Michigan State Police on February 17th, 2026. He was arraigned and charged with 1 count of first-degree premeditated murder or homicide in some filings, 3 counts of assault with intent to murder, multiple weapon-related felonies, including felony firearm counts, carrying with unlawful intent, and possession of a loaded firearm in a vehicle, totaling around 10 felonies. Yeah, all those gun laws really helped. Court documents and police interviews indicate Banks admitted the attack was intentional. But why? But why? He reportedly told detectives he had received online threats claiming his family would be harmed unless he killed someone. That seems logical. I am okay. This prompted him to take his father's shotgun, load ammunition into a backpack, and drive around until carrying out the attack. Authorities have not publicly classified it as a hate crime or racially motivated incident based on available verified reporting. No official statements from law enforcement or prosecutors indicate racial targeting of white families as a motive. Oh, yeah, that little detail. Hence why some people are going, why haven't we heard about this? And some people say, well, that's the detail as to why. Because the perpetrator just happens to be black, and the victims just happen to be white. I don't know about the bystander. Now, look, people, I have said this before. People, garbage, evil. It comes in all shapes, sizes, and colors. Okay, this piece of garbage just happens to be wrapped in a darker colored skin suit than other people. That's just the way it is. No self-respecting black person out there is cheering that this happened. I'm sure there's black men out there that are fathers and black women out there that are mothers or uncles and nieces and aunts and going, that poor baby. They can't believe that this happened. Why would you do this? People want to make it all about race. Okay, maybe in the back of his mind, I don't know. I'm not going to make it about that, other than perhaps it's maybe the reason why it's not being covered nationally. But again, evil comes in all shapes, sizes, colors, nationalities, and it runs the gamut, right? We saw it in Rhode Island last week. You saw a guy cosplaying as a chick who was also like a neo-Nazi. He had SS tattoos on his arm. The guy was evil. He was garbage, right? This guy's obviously garbage too. Now, whether it was a racially motivated attack or not, whether he did get those threats and was told you got to kill Whitey, or okay, I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It doesn't matter. The fact he committed evil. Again, like I said, the racial component might be why it's not national headline news. But there's also a lot of other headline news going on right now. Evil and violence happens every day. So, again, I can understand why some people will say that, but do I fully believe it? No. But I wanted to talk about it because, yeah, it's kind of a big thing. Like, this dude mowed down a family, bro. He mowed down a family and then got out of the car with a shotgun to continue the carnage. Like GTA, bro. Yeah, that's all fun on a video game. I play that game, and I agree. It's fun on a video game to do that in a video game because it's a video game. It's fake. It's make-believe. It's not real. This? What? Duh. WTF. Now, of course, I feel bad for this person's parents. He took his dad's shotgun. I don't know this guy's dad. I have to assume he's a fine, upstanding gentleman. He was probably at work or something. I don't know. He's a fan of 2A. Okay, he owns a shotgun. Okay, cool. I have to make assumptions that he's a nice guy, right? He's got to live with this now. Also knowing that his kid killed a kid. A 3-year-old baby girl, dude. 3 years old. Over he was threatened online? I don't know. That sounds like BS to me, but maybe not. Maybe it's some gang initiation thing. I don't know. All I know is that story is messed up. All those people involved, man. Damn. WTF, bro? Come on. But yeah, the fact that I haven't heard anything about it. I hear all kinds of updates about the Olympics though, because I guess that's still a thing. But whatever. All right, what do we have next? Oh, yes. New York City. New York City. That's right, New York. Are you having buyer's remorse yet, New York? I think you are, because communism sucks, and it smells really bad too, doesn't it? Yes. The streets, certain streets of New York, there are videos online, unverified and verified, of, well, human excrement. That's right. New York City is basically turning into San Francisco. Isn't that wonderful? Eventually, New York's, you're going to need an app for human feces. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about your budget. Yes, your mayor made a lot of promises for some free shit. That's what commies do. And guess what? Free shit ain't free, bruh, as everybody has told you. And now New York is, well, they're about to find out. Shit's about to get real expensive, real fast. So I'm going to get into some of the details about what your wonderful commie mayor wants to do. I also have another story about New York right after this one. But let's get into what Lord Mamdani wants to do for you New Yorkers to keep everything running swell. Okay, so this is what I found in my search. New York's Mayor Zoran, whatever, in his blah blah presentation of his fiscal year 2027 preliminary budget, totaling a record $127 billion, outlined two paths. Oh, you got choice? No, you don't have a choice. To address an inherited $5.4 billion 2-year budget gap after accounting for agency savings, revenue revisions, and state aid. Oh, I'm sure there was agency savings looked at because he's been mayor for how long? You did a full audit of New York's. No, you haven't. He emphasized that his preferred approach avoids burdening working and middle-class New Yorkers, while the alternative, a last resort, if state approval is denied, involves measures he described as harmful. Yes, because communism is harmful. Here are the key elements. Okay. The preferred path. This is the preferred path, New York. This is the preferred path. I am not an economics major. Numbers are hard, but even I know this ain't going to work. Okay. Preferred path. Most sustainable and fairest. I love it when commies love the word. They use the word fair. It's never fair. Raise taxes on the wealthiest New Yorkers. Personal income taxes on those earning more than $1 million annually, often referenced as the 2% increase. Okay, that's not going to work because for some, it'll work a little bit because the vast majority of people in New York that make over $1 million, you know what they're going to do? They're going to leave. They're going to move to Connecticut because let's say they work in the city. They're going to move to Connecticut and commute. And Connecticut sucks. But our taxes, as much as they suck, are better than New York City's. Okay, increase taxes on the most profitable corporations because that's going to make them stick around. No, it's not. They're going to ship the fuck out. Address the fiscal imbalance between New York City and New York State. Example, fixing what the city provides to the state versus what it receives in return, ending the, quote, drain of city resources. This requires approval from the governor, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, so that when that fails, they're going to implement Path 2, the, quote, last resort. If Path 1 fails, which it will. Are you ready? Hey, New Yorkers, are you sitting down? You better, because you're not going to be able to after Path 2 hits, because it's going to implement a 9.5 increase in the property tax rate. That's right. 9.5% increase taxes on your property, generating $3.7 billion in FY 2027. Yeah, fiscal year bullshit. Which he noted would act as a tax on working and middle-class New Yorkers. Yes, you think, shithead? You're in charge of it, numbnuts. You're in charge. Yes, of course it's a tax on it's a tax on everybody. God, commies are so dumb. Then he's gonna then withdraw $980 million from the city's rainy day fund. Yeah, you guys don't need that for anything else. And then take $229 million. Random. Why did you say 230, bro? From the Retiree Health Benefits Trust. This is a reserve for retiree health obligations, often discussed in connection with the city employee benefits retiree funds, though not core pension principles like NYCERS or TRS employees retirement fund. Whatever that means, I'm sure if you are in the know, you know. Let's see. He stresses something, blah, blah, blah. Other context he mentioned. Let's see. The agency. The agency? Okay, whatever that is. Let's see, they target to, let's see, save 1.5% this year and over next year. Yeah, okay. But yeah, all right. There's nothing else here to read that's of relevance. Communism ain't cheap, is it, folks? Communism ain't cheap. Don't worry, though. The dipping into the rainy day fund and all that stuff, I believe, don't quote me, but I do believe he said that it would be temporary. Well, yeah. Of course it's going to be temporary, because when all the money's gone, there's nothing left to take. Then you got to raise more taxes. That's a big problem for you, New York City. You guys generate a lot of money. I'm not a fan of any city. It's not just New York City. I don't like. No offense to New York City. I don't like New York City. I just don't like cities. It's just me. It's too much people. I like the country. I'm not even a country boy. I grew up in the suburbs, but I like the country. It's just me. People annoy me. But New York City, you guys have created some amazing things. Right now, you've created one hell of a turd sandwich. Get ready to take a bite, because unless all of you gather up and recall this schmuck, enjoy. Oh, yes. I have another story out of New York. I'm going to get the actual details. Give me a sec. Yes, there are some areas of New York City that, although complaints have been happening throughout the years, but I guess it's gaining more traction. More and more people are less afraid to come out and complain about the morning or just the calls to prayer at some of the mosques within New York, because, well, people are complaining about how loud it is and at the certain times, which is sparking debate regarding, well, you hate Muslims. I'm not going down that road. But there are some people that are going, you just are anti-Muslim. And other people are like, no, dude, I don't want to hear nothing blaring out of anything at 5 a.m. And so, again, now people are starting to come out and starting to complain. But, hey, New York, y'all let this happen. You allowed it. But here's what I found. Since early 2026, social media reports, videos, and reports show increased resident frustration in areas like Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Astoria. People report hearing the adhan. I think that's how you say it. Sorry if I said that wrong. But basically the morning call to prayer blasted 5 times daily starting pre-dawn, waking them up and feeling it's intrusive in a dense urban environment. Well, I don't experience that, but I couldn't agree more. Because like I said, I mean, look, I'm a metalhead. I don't want to hear Megadeth blaring at 5 a.m. Look, I love Megadeth. Yeah, love Megadeth. 5 a.m., unless I've been up all night, and even if I've been up all night, I'm ready for bed now, dude. The booze is wearing off. No, I don't want to hear Metallica at 5 a.m. I don't want to hear Megadeth. I don't want to hear anything blaring at 5 a.m. So I feel for these people. I get it. Viral videos show residents reacting with shock. I never thought I'd hear this in New York. Well, you let it happen. Posts on platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and Reddit claim it's blasting into homes and questions noise regulation enforcement. I don't know about any of that. Couldn't tell you that. Some attribute expansions to daily and full broadcasts due to Mamdani's administration, sparking debates on religious freedom versus noise ordinances. I don't know if it has anything to do with Mamdani. I think that's a stretch, personally. He obviously won't give a shit, but I don't think that's the reason, because this has been an ongoing thing for years. Just more and more people are finally growing a pair in New York, like New Yorkers used to have, and now they're saying, nah, man, this is bullshit. I don't want to hear this 5 times a day starting at 5 a.m. Nah, you do you, but, bruh, this is kind of annoying. I get it. Let's see. Okay, yeah, then there's some other... But I guess this has been going on for, like I said, a few years now. People have been complaining, and of course it falls on deaf ears. I see what I did there. But like I said, more and more people are starting to... They're moaning and groaning. That, you know what? As y'all know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. So if you guys want the volume turned down or something, you want something to change, come on, New Yorkers. Y'all are tough people. Y'all are real tough people. I know you are. Like I said, I'm not a city slicker. I'm not a city fan, but I know New Yorkers, and they had some tough sons, bitches. Y'all want something to none about this? Quit your complaining. Get off Facebook. Get off Instagram, and Reddit, and that cesspool. Or you get on there and you set something up, and you get a town meeting, and you say, "Yo, shit needs to change." You have to become the change because the world, obviously, the city has changed without you. If you want that to stop, sorry, man, you got to do something about it. But I just find it funny. That so many people, for years, the city of openness and love, and everybody come here, and we're great, everything's awesome, we're a melting pot, it's great, and all of a sudden that melting pot's like, "Doe, turn that shit down." I love it. New York City. Wow. Man, y'all are in for a long couple years. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about today is actually an upbeat puff piece. That's right. Here in the wonderful state of Connecticut. Actually, in my old stomping ground town of South Windsor. What up, South Windsor? I didn't go to the high school there, but go Bobcats. Hey, did you know that in South Windsor, y'all got an astronaut living there? Well, he's not there now, though, because he's not even on the planet right now, bro. For real. I heard a little snippet about this on the news the other day, and I was like, yo, because every time I hear South Windsor, I don't live there no more, but that's my old stomping ground. So when I hear something from the old S-Dub, I'm like, oh, what's up? So I wanted to do just a quick little thing about Mr. Jack Hathaway. Again, it's an internet search. Take it with a grain of salt. But yes, Mr. Jack Hathaway is a NASA astronaut from South Windsor, Connecticut. He was born and raised in South Windsor. He is a graduate from South Windsor High School in 2000 and is a United States Navy commander. Thank you for your service, sir. Selected by NASA in 2021 as part of the astronaut candidate class, he then completed training and graduated in 2024. Hathaway recently completed his first space flight as the pilot of NASA's SpaceX Crew 12 mission. The crew launched on February 13, 2026 from Cape Canaveral, Florida, and he arrived at the International Space Station shortly after to join Expeditions 74 and 75 for approximately an 8-month stay focused on science missions. Before NASA, he was a distinguished naval aviator with over 2,500 flight hours in 30 aircraft types, more than 500 carrier-arrested landings, and 39 combat missions. Damn, 30 types of aircraft? That is impressive. He holds bachelor's degrees in physics and history from the United States Naval Academy, plus a master's degree from Cranfield University, Flight Dynamics, and the United States Naval War College, National Security and Strategic Studies. He's also a graduate from the Empire Test Pilots School. Test Pilot School? Dude, this homie's got some brass ones. I want to sit down with you, Jack. Seriously, dude. I want to sit down and talk to you, dog. Because you got like some big test pilot? That's nuts. I mean, all the other stuff is crazy. Getting in an aircraft going into outer space, that's nutters. Test pilot? Yo. That's insane, dude. I want to talk to Jack. That's an interesting dude. So I figured I'd close out today with something cool like that. We have an astronaut from Connecticut, from my old stomping ground in South Windsor. So that's pretty cool. Safe travels, Jack. Look forward to having you back here on Earth in a what was that? And by the end of the year, homie. We'll see you by Christmas. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode, give it a like, share, follow, and the internet stuff. If you would like to follow my antics online, follow me on X at Eric Not Sorry and on Facebook at Eric Unfiltered Podcast. And, of course, I'm over on YouTube. I promise I'm getting a cam soon. I promise. All right, until next time, keep being you.